welcome to Everyday Pauses with Erin Panzarella. I'm Erin and I'm so grateful that you're here and watching this video. I wanted to just take some time today to tune into the body and kind of just get away from the craziness of everyday life. That's what these pauses are all about, to help you just tune into the breath, tune into the body, tune into the mind, and not being so caught up in all the noise of the everyday life. It doesn't really matter how you want to connect. You can either lay down on a yoga mat, on the floor, on the bed, or you can sit up like I am. If you're sitting in a chair, just have your feet firmly on the ground. If you're sitting on the floor, you can just sit in a comfortable cross-legged position, or you can sit on a meditation cushion like I am. Whatever is comfortable for you is best. As David G says, comfort is queen. And I really feel that's super important when you're trying to tune in, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to come back to the practice, because why would you? So much of life is uncomfortable. So why don't you just get comfortable with sitting and noticing. All together, if you want to join me with your hands or your palms facing upwards to receive energy, and let's take a deep breath in. And release it out. Let's do another 2 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Deep breath in. And if you want to keep your eyes closed and just watch your breath go in and out of the body. If this feels hard, if you feel the thoughts coming in and you can't focus on the breath, that's okay. Our brains are wired to think. So when you're in meditation, the fact that you're thinking doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. You're just human. Thoughts are a part of this human experience. So while in meditation, when I first started my practice, I always thought that there was something wrong with me because I was thinking. And that was a little discouraging, because I always thought that when you're meditating, you're just sitting quiet, nothing coming in, nothing happening in your mind. And I never could see how I could get to that place. And the truth is, you're not supposed to get to that place. You're a human. We're supposed to have thoughts. If you're not thinking when you're a human, you're not living. But as my meditation practice grows, I'll notice more space between the thoughts and less judgment of the thoughts, because I realize that there's no need to judge the thoughts that are coming up, because I'm a human and that's what's coming up right now. So if any thoughts arise, I want you to just watch them. Sometimes it helps for me to envision them kind of in like a little thought bubble. Just watching them float away. Thoughts always rise to the surface and then they subside. If we don't place judgment on them, if we don't focus too much on them, they will go away. Now, if you want to bring your hands to your heart, just placing both of them over your heart. And as you breathe in and out, just feel the rise and the fall of the chest. What do you love? Let's hold some space right now to think of, who do you love? This can be a person, it can be an animal, it can be you. And focus on that love. That feeling that you get when you're interacting with the person that you love. If no one in particular comes to mind, just hold space and love for yourself in this moment. We're so often used to hating ourselves or thinking that if we change, then we'll be lovable. But the truth is, in this moment, you are lovable. There's nothing that you need to do, no other person that you need to be. You just have to be yourself. And you are beautiful as you are. Really hold on to that truth. That there is nothing that you need to be other than what you are in order to be lovable. And the most important person that we need to love is ourselves. Because without that love, we'll just be searching or longing or taking action that's not in our highest good, because we think that taking that action will make us more lovable in the eyes of others. That's an illusion. You are perfect as you are, right in this moment. That might cause some resistant thoughts. We're not often taught that love is unconditional. There's so many things that come up in the daily life that taught us when we were growing up and learning how to love ourselves that love was conditional. If we did something quote unquote wrong, then we were less lovable. But just because people were incapable of loving us perfectly doesn't mean that we were undeserving of love. All humans are imperfect in their humanness. But there's also an aspect beyond the human self, which is the soul, our actual inner being. And that is perfect. And we came here to experience that inner being in a physical body, which comes with its own limitations. But we're also here to discover that we are perfect as we are. As humans, we can't act perfectly all the time, and that's okay. We're not supposed to. That's not why we're here on this journey. If we were meant to be perfect, we wouldn't have manifested in this physical body, because perfection is unattainable here on this human plane. All we need to be is ourselves. And that is enough. You are enough as you are. There's nothing that you can do or not do that makes you not enough. If you were taught that that's the case, I'm sorry. And it's not. So let's focus on that love. The heart chakra is a green color. If you can envision in your mind's eye a color of green surrounding you, holding you, loving you in your own perfection. The vibration of the heart chakra is yam. 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 Let's repeat that vibration yam internally to help vibrate in a space of love. Now I'm going to release the mantra yam, the vibration yam. And if you want to put your hands in prayer positions over your heart, and thank yourself for taking this time for you to focus on love for you. It's the most important love that there is. Once you cultivate that environment of love within, you can share it with the world around you. All love starts from within. If you want to take a deep breath in and then sigh it out of the mouth. I'm going to pull a card. I've had the cards laying out in the energy, so I'm going to pull a card. If you want to keep your eyes closed while I read it to let the message sink in, or you can open your eyes, whatever feels good for you. The card is Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. It's time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at the patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of past lives. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they've served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by a soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It is time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. Here is a Work Your Light activation. If you want to close your eyes if they weren't closed and tune in. I release old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came to be in this present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, unbound, forever unbound. What better way to love yourself? To unbind from the things that are no longer serving you. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Everyday Pause. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.